You're watching The Grey Machine. We're live here from the Parc du Prince. I think I said that right. David Dunn here, joined by Nick Menzies. Nick, how are you doing? It's got to call you Menzies there. How are you getting on over in cool Dublin?
Yeah,
over here.
Yeah, tropical Dublin. It's fantastic. Yeah, I know we're a couple of hours behind you, Dave, but yeah, it's been a cracking day, and as always, looking forward to an Ireland international. Well, somewhat.
Listen, it's match day. You can't beat it. International break and all that happy stuff. Listen, we're going to get into the starting 11. It has been just announced by Stephen Kenny. Here we go. So Gavin Mazzuni starts in goal. Enda Stevens returns to the left wing back. Shane Duffy returns to the Ireland team. John Egan captains the side. He was obviously a bit of a doubt. We also have Nathan Collins in the side. Bit tricky with the right wing back. Nick, what do we reckon? Alan Brown?
I'd imagine it's Alan Brown. I mean, Jason Knight did so well against Gibraltar there, so there is a possibility it's Jason Knight playing there, and Alan Brown is actually playing in midfield. To be fair to Brown, he's doing well in midfield for Preston. He's playing as a number 10 for them. So that I don't know. I haven't seen any kind of official lineup, but I would imagine it is Brown at right wing back. But we'll find out soon enough. Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, yeah, we'll see. We'll see when it starts anyway. But yeah, it's going to be him or Jason Knight, right wing back, and then of course midfield you have Josh Cullen sitting behind Malumbi at Knight or Brown really, and Benny and Adam Ida will lead the front. Of course, no Evan Ferguson, he is out with a long-standing knee injury, and we've no Androma Bomadelli. He was left out of the squad today. He is obviously he's had that family bereavement. He did lose his grandfather just recently, so our sympathies and thoughts to his family. Just going to have the squad down the bottom there. Guys, tell us what you think. We are Irish Football's most interactive podcast, so we'd like to hope we are anyway. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think of the squad. Are you here in Paris? You've got some pictures to send in. Send them all in. Hope you're having a nice time. And now we're going to go over to the French starting 11. Ooh la la. In goal we have, look at that there, Magnon in goal. We got Hernandez left back. We got two Hernandezes actually. I can barely read this writing, Nick.
Do you want me to read it for you?
You read it for me, Nick. So
Magnon in goal. Then we have, I can't even see myself. Jesus Christ, hold on. Koundé right back, Upamecano and Hernandez centre half, and then Theo Hernandez's brother at left back. We have Antoine Griezmann, Chuchunoi, which I never know how to pronounce his name. All I know is he scored against England anyway in midfield, and Rabiot midfield as well, Mbappe, Giroud, and Ousmane Dembele up top. That went well, didn't it? Chuchumeni. Oh, Jesus.
You know what?
Anyway.
I just got the graphic off the FFF website or Twitter, and I didn't get a chance to read because, I got a bit of stick actually because the graphic I put up for the stream, I had Evan Ferguson on it. Now, the reason for that was, I know it wasn't the one from the home match, as some cheeky little fecker said. It's just, we tried to do these, days in advance, don't we? Because you're running around like a madman. I was. Yeah. Walked 8 miles. 8 miles today with a big backpack on me. Absolutely wrecked. The weather here, Nick, is incredible. Let's have a look here. This is from the FAI. Lovely little graphic they sent out in the fan pack. 30-degree temperature, 44% humidity, and zero chance of rain. It is absolutely
boiling today, yeah. It's going to be very hot.
It really is. But yeah, I went to meet Martin today, actually. We said, I was there. I know we had one or two asking. But I must say, Nick, not really much of an atmosphere out there, to be honest.
A shame.
A lot of Irish.
Yeah.
So on the way down to the stadium, so I'm about 6 miles away from Parc du Prince, and literally, I'm central enough, and literally saw like 3 Ireland fans. That was it. Yeah. Saw nobody, and then the bar where I met Martin. Funny story, actually, right? So, you can hear that now. Actually, the booze ringing around the stadium.
It's not for you, Dave.
No, they'd be cheers, I'd hope. But the goalkeeper's going out for a training session, being put through the paces by Dean Kiley. But no, right, so we got to the bar, and you know me, I'm a coffee addict, right? I don't drink anymore, so went there, got me coffee, went into the pub. Now, there's a big gang of them there. Martin's giving out the tickets. Yeah, I saw a massive bag under the table. I don't know. I saw a couple of euros sticking out. I didn't ask questions, Nick. You know what I mean? It's none of my business. Harry Martin, if you're watching. And basically, so I get a coffee. I'll sit in with the group. So your man stops me on the door and goes, "Excuse me, what are you here for?" I was like, "Well, I'm here to meet my friends." "You have coffee? You're not allowed in here with a coffee. We sell coffee." Like, okay, fair enough. Wasn't being cheeky. Genuinely wasn't. Like, okay, no problem. Have a coffee. So anyway, I ended up throwing the bin, so sit down. So when it comes to ordering drinks, when he goes, "Right, what do you all? Lads are ordering beer." So I said to you, "Man, can I have a coffee?" "Oh no, we're not serving coffee now." I felt like fucking chinning him. Like I was just, sorry, language. I felt like chinning him. I was just like, "Are you joking?" So I had a Coke instead. And I'm like, "Really?" Martin, you want to see him? He was absolutely gunning for a pint. He was sitting there, hands were, he was, because like when we go out drinking, it's just, just keep flowing.
I didn't think Martin would be into that, Dave.
Oh yeah, he's a good boy. He was very well behaved, Mrs. Prendergast. Watching. Sorry for the language. But it was so funny because they ordered him right, and 20 minutes later there was no sign. And there was like an elderly couple, they were Martin, and he went up to order to get a pint. He said, "They are pints." And he goes, "Yes." "Oh, can I have them? Paid for and everything." I was like, No, I'll bring them over to you. I'll bring them over to you. And he didn't see him for like another 20 minutes.
Yeah. Ooh la la.
So anyway, that's my bar story. And here's actually a picture for the bar. Sure, look at him there. There's Stephen as well. All the lads there.
I don't see Martin.
I'd imagine he's taking the picture.
Oh, right, okay.
Or he's off with his suitcase full of money. You know what he's like. Did you see his post today? Like, obviously he just got in this morning, didn't he, on the Eurostar? Have a look at this.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Hold on.
Very low brow. Very low brow.
We've got the lads coming out there now, as you can hear. Team coming out there for their training. Got the Irish fans
Martin actually had an interesting picture on our WhatsApp group actually earlier, but maybe we won't go there.
We won't show that one. No, that was from 10 years ago today, wasn't it?
Yeah. On the theme of tickets, Dave.
On the theme of tickets and everything that's pure and well with Irish football.
Yeah, so we better go through this team, Dave. Because I know a lot of people are quite kind of curious about it, and I can see people kicking off in the comments already about the team.
Okay.
Yeah. Weird one. Look, Shane Duffy starting and Stevens starting. It's pure experience, isn't it? I mean, Darragh O'Shea starting in the Premier League every week. Shane Duffy has barely played football up until the start of this season with Norwich. Obviously, he's getting his games. He was starting ahead of Andrew Mbamidele. He's not a ball-playing centre-half. Yeah. We're going to be coming up against a huge amount of pace. It's a very, very pacey, width for the French. You'd imagine he's there to deal with Olivier Giroud. Again, you'd imagine that someone like Nathan Collins can deal with him, and Darragh O'Shea is a very adaptable player. Just conscious of the noise there, but the Alan Brown selection, I'm not sure. I mean, a decent start to the season with Preston North End. Again, he's playing as a number 10, in a double 10 kind of role for Preston. They're going quite well, but you'd imagine he's starting a right wing back. Jason Knight in there as well. It's difficult to know where they'll go. Very functional team, though. Jason Malumbi's really just there to break up the play. Ogbene, they're going to want to play in the break, Dave. I think this is going to be a very, very compact Irish team. I really don't know what to expect. It could be a dour 0-0, or else an absolute hammering. It's a difficult one to predict, but I'm not a fan of that team. Very unbalanced, very functional, as I said, and I'd be a little bit concerned about a couple of the selections there. Yeah, sorry, I just had to put my thing on mute there for a second. The French team will come out and the place gone nuts. Filling up nicely. No, I don't think it's a very ball-playing football side. I know we like to play after the back, but I think this is, you say, functional team. This is a team of destruction, really, isn't it? Like, this is a team that's going to break up the play, and it's going to be, designed to maybe try and nick a goal on the counter if we can. Sorry, I do not know why they have these things so loud. Yeah, we can hear you fine though, Dave. Oh, okay. I can't hear me. But yeah, I think he's gone for experience here. Obviously, the likes of Alan Brown and Shane Duffy and then Stevens. Of course, this is his first squad back for about a year, isn't it? And the Stevens at Stoke, so he's gone for experience here. I mean, he can't just. I mean, if you pull the team again there, Dave. I mean, there's a couple of selections he can't really justify. He can't justify picking Jeff Hendrick. He's hardly played. He can't justify picking Will Smallbone. He's been injured. Will Keane might feel a little bit hard done by given his form. I mean, Adam Ida's done fine, but he will feature, I think. And I know he gets a bit of a raw deal, Will Keane, but he's in great form. James McLean, as we mentioned last week, playing in League Two. The way I look at it, Dave, if Bessie Obazelli played against Juventus a couple of weeks ago, he would have played against the likes of Rabiot a couple of weeks ago. James McLean was playing in League Two. And Stevens, to his credit, has come back and done very, very well for Stoke. And I can understand the selection there. He is a natural wing back, where McLean is, I know he's played a bit of left back in the last couple of years. But I can understand the Stevens selection. To an extent, I can understand the Duffy selection, probably there to deal with Giroud. But, I mean, Darrell O'Shea, as I said, starting in the Premier League every week, doing relatively okay considering he's in a struggling Burnley team. But it's all kind of square pegs into round holes here, Dave. Again, from Stephen Kenny. There's only one left footer in that team, and on balance, really on paper, the French should really do a number on us. But I do think it's going to be a compact performance. Malumbi and Brown are very physical players. We need the likes of Cullen, Josh Cullen, to have a decent game. Obviously his mistake kind of led to the goal in Dublin. I wouldn't say I'm overly kind of worried. I'm not overly worried as so far that he got the selection completely wrong. He's a little bit goose as so far that our only right back in the squad, Bessie Obazelli, hasn't played any games. He hasn't played any competitive games for Ireland or any internationals at all. So in a way I can understand that. But when you're playing a midfielder or a right fullback, you are running the risk because positionally it can be a struggle for them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the romantic in me would say, give Festy a go. Play him in a big game. We've had players before, debutants, have an absolute stormer in the first game, but the pragmatist in me is like, nah, you'd be throwing him in at the deep end here. Paris, against that French lineup. I understand the inclusion of some of the players, but the style of play he's going to want to play, I'd be a bit. I don't know. I'd be looking at packed midfield, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be going for a compact performance.
Well, I mean, he's Stephen Kenny's mantra when things don't go wrong is I've changed the style of football. And is that team capable of playing a passing game? I don't think Shane Duffy is. I don't think Alan Brown is capable of playing a passing game. I don't think Jason Malumbi is capable of playing a passing game. So it is going to very much be a little bit like the approach we had in Dublin against the French. It'll be Malumbi to break things up, Ogbene to play on the break and hopefully stretch the French defence. In terms of the French midfield, I mean, Griezmann will keep dropping deep. Rabiot is quite an erratic player. I got the correct pronunciation. Tchouameni, thank you, Stephen Ring. What did I say, Chuchumando? But I mean, he's an excellent player. He could ruin our midfield single-handedly, from the defensive midfield position. So, yeah, look, Dave, I'm not feeling completely. I always look forward to Ireland internationals. I'm still looking forward to this game, but I'm not fully upbeat. There's something uninspiring. And this is going to sound very, very negative, Dave. But my worry is we have a spirited performance. It's a 0-0. And we get into this false sense of, things are okay again. It's a very disjointed team. That's not our best 11. And I think another flawed selection from Stephen Kenny, to be brutally honest, although his options are quite limited all the same.
Yeah, I mean, like, whatever the flaws that you can point out, Stephen Kenny, he hasn't helped himself. We pointed out on this many times. He hasn't had man he looked though, has he? Like, Evan Ferguson out injured with a long-standing knee problem, and Ahmed Bombadeli as well out injured. He's had a bereavement. He hasn't had a lot of luck. Through 3 years, he just had zero luck.
Zero luck, Dave, but at the same time, let's go back to the game of Malta in November. If he brought Danny McNamara into the squad in November, if he brought Bessie Obazelli into the squad in November, we might be looking at a more viable right back option. If he brought Sammy Smolix into the squad, we might have a more viable ball playing midfielder in there.
He has shrunk his own pool. He has shrunk his own pool with his selection. I do agree, and we have pointed out there. 100% agree with Danny McNamara. Ebaselli should have been in. Ryan Manning as well should have been brought in. Wasn't selected in November. Wasn't selected in March. Came in June. Went away because of personal reasons. We don't know what those were. So it's been a tricky one. Just going to get to some of the pictures actually here. We did ask some of the guys to send a picture in. Then we're going to get to the comments. I can barely hear myself. I sent this picture in. I put this picture up on the page, Nick, of that was taken from the bridge, and then I had somebody respond to me and says he's got an even better picture of the Eiffel Tower. Have a look at this.
Brilliant, love it.
Man, Queenie. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And Martin sent this picture in, taken in the bar here in Paris. Look at that that's a fantastic jacket. Look at that.
That must be worth a few bob.
Look at all those badges, quality Swiss one there and the whole lot. That's absolutely fantastic. And Kieran O'Donoghue there he is. The last one.
Brilliant. On Tip.
Go on, Tip. Where are they? I'm trying to find them. I don't know where they are. Anyway, thank you guys for sending those pictures in. We're going to head off now in a second and we're going to get ready for the game. We've just got 40 minutes to kick off. Hopefully my voice sticks out a little bit. Right, we're going to get to the comments. Let's have a look. Paul Cullerton, how are you doing, Paul? Surely Dara O'Shea has to start in the Ireland team. And he says, thanks for all the shows, lads. You're most welcome, Paul. Paul, big friend of the podcast. What do you make of Dara O'Shea actually not getting in there, Nick?
Yeah, look, I think it's really just Shane Duffy in there to deal with Olivier Giroud. Didn't he get sent off against Giroud and the Euros? Or no, Griezmann, wasn't it? Anyway,
yeah, took him out, didn't he?
Yeah, but O'Shea will feel very, very hard done by. Look, as I said, he's playing in the Premier League every week. He's an excellent player, but you can't play 4 centre halves, I guess.
No, you can't. Maxime Palliat, he's gone now. Square there and it's there. Go on, Nick. You're the teacher. Tell us what you say.
Le Macri Galer lesh na guys. Tasula gum gabe Clehi intak emaquid Guelga Le Macri Galer lesh on Viren. Yeah, he hoping we're gonna have something about his heart and having a good game.
Good man, Maxime. There you go. Love the language. So I've lived in England for 12 years, so it's Aniel Square was completely lost to league. Stephen Ring, how you doing? Nick, it's Chouameni.
Yeah, sorry, Stephen. That's what I said though. Chouamani.
There you go. He knows it's Irish. Graham Farrell, sorry, I do Paul. I can barely hear a thing. Graham Farrell, come on Ireland. Got the missus coming up for this. Aiming to convert to her. Better not let me down. First impressions are key.
Lovely.
Good man, Graham. And Graham Farrell again on the squad selection. Can't believe the team is just picked. Oh, Christ almighty.
Yeah.
Disjointed, as Nick says. Paul Cullerton on YouTube. Hopefully we'll get a positive result tonight. Just can't see, to be honest. Always look forward to the Ireland matches. I'm usually optimistic about getting good results, but just can't see it happening. That's another thing, Paul. I was just saying to Nick there off air. The vibe I got. I walked out to Martin and saw 3 Ireland fans. And they were like on Google Maps. So I just walked past. And that was it. Saw nobody around. 1,700 traveled over for the match. In a city like Paris, that's a drop in the ocean. I just got a feeling that it's really like going to work here. It's a bit of a chore, isn't it? Like, it's not really much of a buzz going on. What's the media like back in Ireland, Nick? I heard that it's been very sort of subdued. I think the rugby world
completely. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The rugby is kind of kicking off at the weekend, and it's just not inspiring. I don't think it has been for a long time, though, Dave. Even in work today, I was chatting to a few people. I was like, "Oh, you're watching the game today?" And they're like, "Who's?" And these are football fans, Dave, and lads who I've been to Ireland matches with. Oh, is that tonight? Is it? Is that tonight? Are they saying? Is that home or away? It's been very uninspiring for a long time, sadly. And as I said, Dave, we could have an excellent performance tonight. And I can guarantee you, going on the inconsistencies of Stephen Kenny and this team, things could be absolutely shite in a month's time. So I love this team. I contribute to a podcast on the Irish team specifically, and I follow this team my whole life. I've been so inspired. I love this team. I love following my country, but there's a flatness. There's been a flatness for a long, long time. And although I look forward to international matches, there's something about tonight that if we won tonight, I'd still be so concerned long term. I know that sounds awful.
No. I mean, Nick, lifelong Ireland fan, all 10 years of it. John Foy, Coy Big, come on, give it a lash. Kieran Boyd, how you doing, Kieran? Watching in sunny Florida. 81 to 90% possession breakdown. 24 shots on target to 2. Final score: France 4. Ireland nil. Kieran Boyle, always optimistic with the boys in green. Sweet divine mother of Jesus. Kieran, I want to hear it. There's something you haven't mentioned. I need to hear it. Otherwise, we're not going off air. John Foy, how you doing, John? Oh, no, not Hendrick, please. No, he does nothing. No, he's on the bench.
I don't think he's going to get any game time anyway. Like, he hasn't played any football. Same with Will Smallbone. He's had a bad injury. I don't think he's going to feature either. So, you know, a couple of lads on the bench, I think, literally to make up the numbers, because there's so many injuries and we've a real threadbare squad. So yeah, I can't. Well, to be fair, Hendrick might get a goal, but yeah, it's not much depth there, Dave. Not much depth there.
Protected 2-0. No. I mean, look, let's. You know what? I've got a funny feeling about tonight. My head is telling me 3-0 France, but my heart is telling me, because we're not expecting it, it's very subdued. Something special might happen here tonight. And I don't mean my lanyard. Actually, speaking of it, look at that. State of that. Absolute state of that. Yeah, I tell you what, that was another thing actually coming into the ground. Security was, I haven't seen security like that for a while. The most security I've ever seen was outside Wembley, and it was after the Manchester attacks. And I worked it, FA Cup final, and like every third bobby had a machine gun. It was like tanks and everything. It was weird, but a lot of firepower outside the stadium. Real tense outside. The French are always like that, though, to be fair. Martin, damaged imitation. I go with that, Martin. It's not a ball-playing team. Which makes it very strange, because Kenny wants to play football. But yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a team, or looks like it's going to be a team that's going to break as opposed to create. Rory, first time commenter. How you doing, Rory, on the YouTube channel? Hi all. I've been a silent listener to Spotify for the last year or so. Love the content. Thank you. Hoping for a cheeky 1-0 tonight. Let's see. Please God, Rory, thank you very much for getting involved. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. And Kieran Boyle, Bolisica story. A bit of Adidas will get these lads roaring around the pitch. Unfortunately, there is Adidas on the pitch, but it's the home side. And thank you very much for that, Kieran. Right, well, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Actually, Stephen Ring, one last comment there. Get it in there. I don't know, but Kenny picked the only man slower than Giroud in the squad. Fair point, Stephen. Listen, I'll leave it there. We're going to be back. Nick, you're going to be back on afterwards, aren't you?
Yeah, I will be. Yeah.
Good man. We're going to be back about five or so minutes after the final, if my voice holds. 5 or so minutes after the full-time whistle. We will be back for the aftermath. Get your reaction. Come on, you boys, great. We're going to do it. We're going to get a result tonight, Nick. I can feel it.
Score draw. Yeah.
I'm channeling positive thoughts, positive energy onto the pitch there. Come on, I reckon we can do it. Let's get it back on track. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much. We will see you after the final whistle. Come on, you boys, agree.